Riverview Golf Course, located on the beautiful Oconee River, is open to the public 7 days a week from 7 till 7, and you can play all day for just $25. Riverview Golf Course opened in the spring of 1977 and has been enjoyed by thousands since. Come on out to Riverview Golf Course today off Highway 19 at Riverview Drive, just 2 miles off I-16, exit 54. Riverview Golf Course in Dublin, making memories every day.
There's a new place for senior care, a place with 24-hour valet service and a boutique salon. A place with all-day arts and crafts. It even has a day spa. A place that's so much like home because, well, it is home. Home Instead Senior Care, when you need personalized care in the comfort of home.
Welcome everybody. I am so glad to be here. I've been trying to tie this man down, Mr. Roy Hilton, who owns many companies, and we're going to be talking about him in a few minutes. But I know you're very busy, Mr. Hilton, and first of all, thank you so much for sitting down with me this morning, talking with me.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
I get to ride by here all the time. That's why I'm so excited, because I only live like a mile down the road here, and every day I ride by this business. And this business I'm talking about is it's the former Graham Brothers Construction corporate office, and you bought it, I guess, a few years ago and made it your corporate headquarters, right?
Right, that's correct.
And first of all, I said company. You got many companies. Tell me about your company or companies.
Okay. Our umbrella company is HS Holdings Company Incorporated. We own Hilton Electrical Automation and Testing Services, Corporate Custom Structures Incorporated, HS Equipment Sales and Rental, HS Environmental Services, and Protect Resourcing. Our bread and butter is substation, electrical substation construction, testing, and commissioning, but we also branch out into prefabricated metal parts, prefabricated metal buildings, environmental remediation services, as well as full line staffing service.
No wonder it's so hard to tie you down with all that under your hat. But okay, let's talk about heat sink.
Okay.
First of all, where did the name come from, and tell me what heat sink does.
Well, heat sink is an acronym for Hilton Electrical Automation and Testing Services Incorporated. It was born out of the desire to provide full line testing and commissioning for utilities, electrical utilities, oil and gas, or oil, gas, and chemical, as well as industrial manufacturers such as pulp and paper, so forth. We started out doing strictly testing and commissioning on electrical substations. We've branched into substation construction, electrical control products, manufacturing, prefabrication, components for substations. Just really to become more of a full line integrator of electrical controls and electrical power generation.
How hard is it in a climate like we have now to combine quality, good service, and integrity and still be competitive?
Oh, it's very difficult with the labor market, particularly being the way it is now. The skills that we really need in order to grow the business, they're diminishing very fast. It's all of our customers want employees with 10 to 15, 20 years experience, but they're just not out there. There was a big gap in training during the I guess early to mid 90s up maybe mid 2000. So the labor pool that's available to draw from are either at retirement age or they're very young. So there's not a good labor pool anywhere in the middle. So trying to find that and get the skills and quality that we need with the people that we need is very difficult, especially when it's a mobile. It's really a mobile job that we do. We go from place to place, state to state, and finding people that can accept that mobility and work with that mobility is also very difficult.
Well, and continuing on that conversation, any company, I don't care what it is, a hamburger joint or a TV station or your business, you're only as good as your people.
That's exactly right.
And I've been walking around this morning. You've seen me around as you've been working, drinking coffee and visiting. I think I know everybody in the building, you know, growing up here. You have done a good job attracting, and I know I'm biased here, but you got good people here, and not just under this roof, throughout the company.
Yes.
How do you balance all that? How do you attract these good people? I know you've invested in them. I know I've talked to Pat quite a bit. So you invest in your people. Right. You're vested and you invest. But in this kind of market, you and I talked off camera about skilled labor. How are you attracting such quality people?
Well, what it boils down to is we try to treat people right. We try to foster an enjoyable environment to work in. We treat people the way that I would want to be treated, and it's really worked out well for us so far.
You were in the Marines.
That's correct.
First of all, thank you for serving our country. Thank you for serving in the military and living in a community like ours with a VA hospital. And I can tell you, I'm in there a lot, and every time I go in, I stand in awe of the heroes and the people, the unsung heroes that I get to meet. And it's hard for me to talk about this because I do get emotional when I think about how these people have made it possible for us to enjoy the very freedoms that we enjoy. Like even right now on television, we can talk about what we want. We don't have to worry about somebody busting in and at gunpoint and stopping us from doing this. So thank you for your service. But second of all, serving in the military, in the finest military in the world, how has that helped you throughout life in working and also running your own business?
I think the most important thing that I took out of that, and something that I learned very early, was to lead by example. I'll never ask anyone to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself, and for the most part haven't done myself.
Okay, the biggest question I get, I told you we get all kind of questions at the TV station. The biggest question I get around this community, everywhere I go, is, I've already had it been asked this morning, what's going on at that old choo-choo building? I mean, my goodness, it's been activity going on, and there's dirt being moved, and a fence that I can't even see the end of it. So what's going on at the old choo-choo building?
All right, we are in process of building the first stage of the new fabrication facility down there. So there'll be a new 35,000 square foot building going up just to the right of the choo-choo building. We've re-skinned the outside of the choo-choo building. We're going to the old choo-choo building. We're going to do a build out on the inside. So the plan right now is hopefully by June 1st, if the weather will allow, we'll have the steel fabrication shop set up in the new building, and we'll start moving the control products and the control panel fabrication and such into the old choo-choo building. So there'll be engineering offices, warehousing, and a fabrication plant on both sides. One doing the electrical controls, electrical pneumatic controls, the other one doing the steel fabrication and assembly.
Most of the customers I talk to of yours are usually on the custom structure side. I want to ask you to tell our viewers, I know what it is, but I want you to share with our viewers what is custom structures, and also address this. Everybody I've talked to, they always give you the highest compliment, but the common denominator I hear is custom structures has exceeded my expectations. So that's the kind of company you're running. Tell me about custom structures, and tell me why it's important that you exceed your customers' expectations.
Well, custom structures, when I purchased the business a few years ago, was a little small custom metal fabrication shop. And basically, I bought the business in order to expand it into more of a high commercial industrial market. But because of the way it was structured and just the way it was being managed at the time, we had to kind of deconstruct it and rebuild it. So we did that on the same principles that we use for our substation construction and our industrial construction companies. Quality number one. Or I guess I should back up and say safety number one. Yeah. That's the most important job that we have every day for all of our employees, all of our crews. The second is quality. So going back to that, we deconstructed the old company, took our time, built it back up. But I guess their core business would be prefabrication of metal buildings. All right. So with that being said, we're rapidly expanding into other markets with custom structures. Pretty much anyone in this business can meet the customer's expectations. We strive daily to exceed them. We want to provide the best product that we can provide at the most cost competitive advantage that we can have.
Okay, custom structures, I want to stay on that a moment, but I know you do Dollar Generals,
right.
You do some O'Reilly Auto Parts,
right.
Things like that, but also if I wanted to build a metal barn at my house,
right.
You would come do that, right?
We would do that. We can actually build a metal frame house. Now we don't do the interior build outs. We do have partners that other contractors that we partner with to do the interior build outs or so forth. But yeah, we can design custom metal frame houses. We just purchased a program to allow us to do 3D modeling, both on the metal building side, excuse me, and on the substation construction side. We can build a project out and do a 3D model, and that allows us to look for and find constructability issues, so that we can fix them before we actually get to the field and start installing something, which significantly cuts down on errors and time in the field.
And you're looking, as Roy's been talking, you're looking at some of the pictures of some of these metal buildings. They're unbelievable. So you see what is available at Custom Structures right there. So we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back right after this.
Hey, Kristen, have you seen the boys? It's time for me to head to work.
I think I found them.
I think they want to go to work with me.
Okay, be safe and don't get too dirty.
When folks visit our dealership, we always treat them with respect and greet them with a smile. Now, boys, our service team is here to help our friends keep their vehicles safe and on the road. When people buy their new vehicle, we make sure it's cleaned up right for that first road trip.
Whoa, rough day?
Others call you customers, we call you friends. That's Dublin Ford Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Jeff Camden, President of Citizens Bank of Lawrence County. When we began looking for a location for our second Dublin banking office, the historic Henry building looked like the perfect spot because Dublin and Lawrence County is our focus, and making banking easier and more convenient for our customers is our goal. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
A local full-service community bank offering quality banking services. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, now open in downtown Dublin.
Welcome back, everybody, and continuing my conversation with Roy Hilton. We've been talking about custom structures. Okay, I want to talk about, we talked about heat sink, we talked about custom structures. Tell me about ProTech Resourcing.
Okay, ProTech Resourcing is a full line staffing service. We do, or I should say they do, direct hires for customers and clients. They do temp to perm and temporary staffing, staff augmentation type services. They have an office in Sandersville and Eatonton. The staff actually came from they have many years of staffing experience, came from another staffing company that was bought out and merged a few years ago. So
how did you get into that business?
To be honest with you, it provided a huge cost savings over what I was paying recruiters. That's the crux of why we started that business.
It just fit right in with your umbrella of companies.
That's right.
Yeah, and I figured that was the answer. I just wanted to make sure I was on the right path. Okay, HS equipment sales. Tell me about that.
That's primarily a back office function of the businesses and what we do. We do sell and rent some to the public. It's not a big part of the business right now. They exist primarily to service the other companies.
Okay, HS Environmental.
HS Environmental Services provides environmental remediation cleaning services for pulp and paper, kaolin industry, bag house change out, filter change outs, vacuum truck services, as well as hydrovac excavation services.
How in the world, you know, looking at your company, you're in nuclear power, telecommunications, oil and gas, and I can't name them all, but that's just a few right there. Where, and I know you've worked in the past, like nuclear power companies, things like that, so I know you probably got your foot in the door there, but that's such a wide array of things. How in the world, you know, I know you walk from one, I'll put one hat on and put another hat on, and you seem to handle it with ease, and I know it goes back to people, I know that, yes. But how did you get into all these different things that I'm talking about plus some?
How I got into it, I really can't tell you. It's just, the business has evolved, the things that we've added, the capabilities that we've added to the business and capabilities that we're looking at adding in the future, they all just fit together. But the goal of the overall company is to be a one-stop shop for engineering, construction, operations, and maintenance of industrial type plants and products.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here. What I'm hearing you say is you've experienced substantial growth over the last several years through diversification.
That's right.
And diversifying into these businesses. You mentioned back office business and these different things to support the business that you originally started.
That's right.
So, super smart there. Okay, you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, sir.
You were very involved in the community. Where did you get your zeal for service? Your parents, from the military? Why is it important that you serve the community that you work and live in?
Well, I think as far as the service goes, it probably comes from a military background and from my faith, my personal faith. But it's important for us to give back to the community. I haven't ever worked in this community that much. I've lived here for about 32, 33 years now, but I've never worked in the community that much. But we've always maintained a home here in the community, or like I said, for the past 30-something years, we've maintained a home here in the community, and the community has treated us very well. Yeah. So it's important for us to give back, and this is, I mean, I love it here. It's my adopted home. Can't really imagine going anywhere else. Yeah. And we love it. We want to give back to it.
Yeah, and I understand that. I feel the same. Did you ever dream growing up? You know, little boys and little girls always say, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a nurse. Did you ever dream of owning your own company?
Yeah, to be honest with you, that's all I've ever really wanted to do. I have a real entrepreneurial spirit. I can look at probably a detriment a lot of times, but I can look at any situation and find a positive or an opportunity, which is another reason to have good people around me. They kind of bring me down to earth sometimes, and
we need that. We need that.
Definitely.
Our type personalities, you need somebody to do that. But so, did you ever envision the success that you've experienced the last several years?
I don't know. I think I never envisioned it happening this fast. We've been very fortunate with the customer base that we have. It's far exceeded our expectations as far as the growth rate.
Okay, we're going to take one more break and we'll come back and wrap it up.
From humble beginnings with a desire to serve the Dudley community, Bank of Dudley has grown to 5 locations, serving Lawrence, Twiggs, and surrounding counties. Serving our community since 1905, the Bank of Dudley is looking forward to its 2nd century of community banking. Drop in today to any of our 5 locations: Jeffersonville, Dudley, East Dublin, Veterans Boulevard, and downtown Dublin. Bank of Dudley, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Are you ready for something different? OFTC offers educational training that works. Education that's fast, affordable, with hands-on experience. From caring instructors invested in your success to a supportive community, OFTC is your path to a career opportunity. And most OFTC students graduate debt-free thanks to the Hope Career Grant, which offers free tuition in over 72 programs of study. Think differently about college and make a change. Choose OFTC. OFTC is an equal opportunity institution.
Welcome back, everybody. Continuing my conversation, I want to wrap things up with Roy Hilton, owner, operator, proprietor of all these companies we've talked about. So if you just joined us, this show will be on again later. So make sure you watch the whole thing. So because we're excited about what Roy's brought to our community, and those of you who've been with us the whole show have heard that. But I want to ask you, I got just a couple more questions, okay. But what advice would you give someone, and there's people watching us right now maybe wanting to start their own business, some of them have just started their business. What advice would you give to people like that?
Work hard. Don't take no for an answer. If you want it, work for it, and you can achieve it.
Your wife, I should have talked about her at the beginning. The shame on me for that. Mm-hmm. Susan, I apologize for that, but you've been married to your wife for 36 years. Y'all two own this business, and I should have made that clear. I'm going to have to beg for her forgiveness there. But tell me about your family and how important, you mentioned faith a while ago, and I could tell when I met you in the break room already, there's a certain spirit about you, so I knew your faith was important without you saying it. But how important is that faith, and how important is family?
The faith and the family are really the cornerstone of what we do, of all we do. Like you said, I've been married for 36 years, almost 37 years now. We have 3 children, 2 daughters and a son, 3 grandchildren. They all live within very close proximity to us out in Rockledge. So it's a strain sometimes with everyone being involved with the business and around the business and so forth, but really and truly that's what keeps us grounded.
Yeah, family's everything.
Yes,
it is. God and country and family. You put all them together, it's a winning combination, no doubt. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I want to end on you. We're talking about family, and I can tell. And I'm going back to your staff because I'm just amazed at the people you've assembled here. I've known them my whole life, and some of them their whole life, like David and some of them, because I'm a heck of a lot older than they are. But I can tell the way y'all interact, and I see the smiles on their faces. They're family too, aren't they?
They are. They really are. The importance of building a business where people actually want to come to work, I don't think could be understated. Yeah. They are our extended family, everyone in here.
Yeah, I can tell that. And speaking of that extended family, how many of them are they? How many employees do you have across the company?
Across the really across the enterprise, all the companies, there's a little over 200 at the moment.
Wow. 200 jobs, y'all. In the corporate office, I don't know if you heard a minute ago, from Rockledge, Georgia. I mean, I just love that. I go to a lot, my grandparents lived in Rockledge, and I've always, people watching us now probably don't know where Flat Rock or Lolly or some of them places are when I say them, but that's the area we're talking about. But it's just great, over 200 employees, and you serve about 3 states, is that right?
Actually, there's more than that.
Okay.
Right now, we're in Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Indiana, Georgia, North Carolina, South Dakota. I think that's all at the moment. So that'd be 7 at the moment.
Okay, I was going to say I counted about 7 there, but we're excited about this. And also during this show, you've been watching some footage because we cut a ribbon today at the old Choo Choo building, and want to thank everybody for coming out to that.
Well, it was supposed to be a groundbreaking today, but I think it's going to be a pond digging.
Can y'all hear the thunder in the background? You know it's rain and I'm not complaining. As low as my pond was during the summer, I'm not complaining about rain. So, but I told somebody this morning, they said, we've had enough rain. I said, well, when the Lord says we've had enough rain,
it'll stop.
That's when it's going to stop. So I'll just yield to him. So, but once again, Roy, thank you so much, not only for the jobs you provide, but for making your business right here in Lawrence County.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity that this area has afforded us and really welcoming us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you joining us today right here on TV 35.